One. What's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing? Are you still experiencing the full moon in Pisces energy? I know I am. At least a lot of it. Last night I had like overwhelming like anxiety. Right? And a friend of mine told me maybe you need to address some trauma. Because I know, like I mentioned before, a lot of triggers are coming up. Like somebody would say something, or I'm in a situation that normally wouldn't bother me, and I would just get triggered. And one of my friends was like, well, what is a trigger? Something you're traumatized to. And she suggested I need to look deeper into what these triggers are. You know, somebody, you know, something that somebody says that triggers you, or somebody does something that triggers you. It's usually from some type of feeling that you had, and usually negative. So that's trauma, or PS, you know, what is that, PSTD, or post traumatic, PTSD, post traumatic syndrome, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. And she made a good point about that. Like, what am I not addressing? You know? And with this Pisces full moons and my reading the other day regarding family and relationships, I think a lot of my trauma is from family and relationships. Like, I have to let go the old story and start telling me a new story so I can heal it. Sometimes if you find yourself in a situation and you're like, why am I not moving, or why am I going around in circles? I really do believe you're there for a specific reason. You know, we all have soul purposes here, to heal things, to bring things to light in others. It's usually in service to others, as well as experiencing things for ourselves. And sometimes the healing process is not pretty, you know? And if you can't move from a situation, it's usually because you didn't learn the lesson yet. As cheesy as that sounds, you know, because you want to wrap stuff up. You don't want to leave any business unfinished, because you don't like that feeling. And then subconsciously you'll be drawn back to that person, place, or thing, because you didn't close it out, or you didn't make peace with it, you know. And these two cards happen to fall out, and I just was holding it. Right? I didn't put it back in the deck. We have the Star card and the Queen of Cups. The Star card is healing, and that's what I've just been rambling about in the last 2 minutes, about healing traumas and triggers. Okay, the Star card, you know, one of the meanings is healing. And with the Queen of Cups is healing your emotions. Healing your emotions. Cards don't lie. Spirit doesn't lie. I think it goes this way because the camera is backwards. Healing emotions. Triggers. Spirit, are we picking up just energy today, like a message, or like a storyline about a person? Oh my gosh. Okay, so 9 of Swords. And I just mentioned, like, last night, this was me in anxiety. Like, literally, I was like this. And I was trying to ground myself and figure out, like, what the hell is this emotions? Like, why am I stressed out like this? Because all day yesterday, I was having fun. I was relaxed. I was meditating on the beach. You know, my son had a good time. You know, chit chat with people. You know what I mean? Like, I had a good time yesterday. And then last night I was in this energy. Usually these are what they say, the demons that come out at night when it's quiet and it's dark. And I'm like, as an empath, I have to differentiate whether these are my emotions or I'm picking up other people's emotions, because that happens a lot too. You know? And I had to ground myself. I was trying so hard to sit there and meditate and relax my body. Like, my body was super, like, tense. Healing emotions, healing traumas and triggers. Okay, this is going to be under the Star card, 5 of Swords. This is betrayal, jealousy, pettiness, healing, betrayal, healing messed up situations you were with other people, healing trauma in relationships to other people, healing that. Or somebody could be feeling defeated, you know, and they carry that around with them, and it manifests in their normal reality on a regular basis. Like, that actually kind of reminds me of a conversation I had with a different friend the other day, where she felt attacked by somebody. And she talked it out because she needed to release that energy of feeling like defeated and violated and victimized. And we thought we cleared that energy so she could like talk it out and clear that energy so she can move on. But the next day she started talking about it again. And then I had to tell her, I'm like, okay, how can we make you feel at peace with it? Because if you don't make peace with it to move on, you're going to carry that energy of victimization and being defeated around with you. And you're going to attract that from people on a regular basis. You got to make peace with feeling victimized, or look at the situation a different way. Like, for example, I was telling her that lady or that person she felt victimized about. We try to look at it in a different way, where that lady was just acting out because she was angry and she felt like she could take her anger out on my friend for no reason. So if you look at that lady as somebody who needs help and comfort and going through their own shit, and they're just acting out without realizing it, you look at the situation differently and you don't feel as victimized. I think a lot of people are in this energy right now. Not just me, my friend, or whatever, whoever's watching this or will be watching this. It's just like healing deep emotional wounds, you know, regarding people. Getting out of the victim mentality. There you go. That hit me so hard. Getting out of the victimization and being violated mentality. Because if you don't find a way to look at the situation different and get out of that energy, you're going to keep attracting being victimized and violated by people. In fact, the friend that I was talking about, where she felt attacked from somebody she didn't know, like a few days before that or a week before that, she was violated from some dude that was trying to overstep his boundaries, and they were strangers. So I'm feeling she didn't resolve that, how she was feeling from that guy trying to hit on her and violating her. So she was in that energy, and here comes another complete stranger victimizing her. But it happens to all of us. That's why it's important to be objective and observe your reality instead of reacting to it. But man, let me tell you, it's hard. I react and overreact a lot, especially if my mind is not grounded. I tend to spiral out of control. You know what I mean? Hierophant underneath the Queen of Cups. That suggests to me like your belief system. Find a way to ground yourself. If you believe in Jesus Christ and He's your Savior, use that to ground yourself, to connect to the divine. If you believe in Allah and Muhammad, then use that, whatever you feel connected to. If you believe in goblins and aliens and that's how you feel connected and grounded, do so. Okay? I'm not saying one religion is better than the other. You know, whatever your belief is, whatever gives you comfort, or whatever way of life you feel you need to follow, that's all up to you. It's your journey. Okay, 3 of Cups underneath this 9 of Swords. Going from this energy to happy celebrating energy. Okay? And sometimes you need to reach out to your friends and people and other people to help you get out of this energy. Because sometimes other people can see things that you don't, or that you can't at the moment because you're in this energy. Like I just mentioned, one of my friends today was telling me I need to address some trauma that maybe I've been ignoring, you know, and it's popping up, you know. And if she hadn't said that, I would have been like, you know, kind of lost, because I'm like still thinking like, why was I in this energy? You know, no matter how much I was trying to ground myself last night, you know. And she suggested, hey, maybe there's some trauma that you need to, because all these triggers were coming up with this moon, that I need to address. Support from your friends, support from your spiritual community, support from your tribe to get you out of this energy so you can be happy and celebrate life instead of staying in a funky energy. If certain memories keep popping up, it needs to be addressed. Sometimes it's so hard because you don't want to feel the emotions or even go there, but it has to be done. You got to disempower that negative emotion. You need to disempower that traumatic situation. Don't, you know, by trying to look at it in a different way, or finding some way to make peace with it. Because putting it in the back of your head and trying to ignore it, it will just keep being a trigger. Oh, Jesus. That's Jesus with a G, okay? Geezus. I'm not saying the Lord's name in vain. King of Swords. Underneath is 5. Cutting off. Standing in your truth. Gaining clarity. Cutting off this victimization and betrayal energy in your life. Like if you were hurt from lovers in the past, you had to make peace with it. Find a way to understand that maybe it wasn't about you. People act out, project out onto other people their own traumas. You know, take responsibility for what actions and emotions were yours and your dealings in that relationship, and realize the other person needs to take responsibility for their actions and their projections and make peace with it. Three of Swords underneath this Hierophant. Cutting off heartbreak, healing heartbreak, people being in their emotions because of heartbreak and trauma. This can also mean a lot of people's traumas and issues with relationships, whether platonic friendships, co-workers, family, stems from beliefs. You know, just because one person hurt your feelings or cheated on you doesn't mean everybody else is going to cheat on you. Because if you hold on to that belief because one person cheated on you, guess what? You're going to attract another cheater. Or the other one, like I'm going to do a confession right now. Just because you dealt with one narcissistic person, it doesn't mean everybody else is going to be a narcissist. Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Because it seems like since one of my serious relationships, if you can call that a relationship, they had narcissistic qualities to them. I'm not saying, because I'm not a professional, to diagnose or accuse somebody of being a straight out narcissist, but this person definitely did have narcissistic traits, and it broke me. I lost myself for a lot of years, right? And so with that belief system and that trauma that I was dealing with my emotions, I started seeing nothing but narcissistic traits in other people. Not just relationships, but like just people in general. Like, oh, look, that's a narcissistic trait. Oh, look at them. They must be a narcissist. Or people's relationship to others, when they would tell me something, oh, that's narcissistic, blah, blah. Like, instead of seeing the good, because whatever is in your subconscious and whatever your belief is, whatever's in your mind, that's all you're going to see. So like I said, if you see you're traumatized from a cheating past mate or traumatized from a narcissistic past mate, if you don't make peace with that, you're going to see that everywhere. So you're going to think everybody's fucking cheater or narcissist. Do you know what I mean? Just like, for example, if you learn how to heal that and you learn to see the good in people, then you're going to see good in everybody. And whatever flaws they might have, because we all have, won't really matter because you're only focused on the good stuff. You're no longer freaking traumatized by this belief system. Getting past the trauma. I can't believe this is freaking coming out, and I just had a discussion about this with a couple of my friends like before this. So this is definitely picking up on me, as well as I'm pretty sure other people can relate to this. Everybody can relate to this because everybody's been through heartbreak and unsatisfactory situations, and they might be carrying it around with them, you know, staying up at late. Sometimes you stay up late at night crying about it or thinking about it. Everybody can relate in some shape or form. So we have Six of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. This is victory. This is help, support, hero. And Queen of Pentacles is stability, being grounded, abundant, okay? I mean, that actually matches this when I was talking about having friends and a community that can come and help you or come in, help ground you. To help you get over this energy. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm coming. Almost, baby. Almost. King of Cups. The pair came out. Happened to come out. But we're talking energies. Okay? Like the King of Swords, we're talking energies. These are not actual people. We're talking the energies that embodies. Because there's no actual storyline. This is a message from Spirit talking about being emotionally mature. Grounding yourself. Reaching out to other people. Or find a belief system to get over an old belief system that was causing this. Hey, listen. I almost done. I will help you in just a minute. Here, do you want this? You want me to lay down? Okay. He's being extra cleany today. Anyways, being the King of Swords, to cut off anything that keeps you in that victim and hurt mentality, okay? And standing your ground, being victorious, gaining clarity, get rid of all that crap that clouds your emotions and your mind. Being emotionally stable and mature. This is emotionally stable and mature. Grounding yourself. Feeling victorious instead of defeated. Because that's how whatever you got going on mentally and emotionally is what's going to keep persisting and manifesting. And sometimes that's very tricky because you can be like, oh no, I'm so fucking happy. I'm grounding myself. I'm so happy, you know. But energies can be tricky. I mean, there's something back there or a belief system in the back of your head that you're not dealing with. That's actually a block for manifesting things. Like, that's why before I was practicing, like, looking in the mirror and practicing self-love. And actually that started removing several blocks. But also, all these triggers that are coming up, it's telling me I have to face this. This is a form of self-love, is facing your triggers, facing your trauma, healing it. Bottom of the deck, healing it. Healing this trauma. I think that's a self-explanatory message from Spirit about facing your triggers, facing your traumas, making peace with it, seeking help, whether it's friends, family members, a belief system, or you need help from a therapist, or you need to go to a doctor because you don't know where to start. Reach out to somebody. You know, we got to heal this. We got to heal this. We got to heal this. That's this big significance of that moon in Pisces. I feel like pulling out 2 oracle cards just to close this out. Playfulness. This is good energy. I think a lot of times we overreact and overthink and take things too seriously. And then it builds up in our mind, you know what I mean? And then we spiral out of control, and then it becomes a traumatic, victimizing moment because we took something so damn seriously that was not that motherfucking serious. Look at life in a playful manner. Like, did that bitch just step to me? Maybe she's just jealous of my swagger, you know? Maybe she wants to be like me or something. You know what I mean? Like, think of it that way instead of like, that bitch just violated me. Or maybe, we jump to conclusions too quick. Suspend judgment. Don't take things so seriously. What's that saying? Don't take life so seriously. You'll never make it out alive. True statement. Oh, bottom of the deck. Centering. That's like being grounded in yourself. Being grounded and being unshakable. And letting go. Experience negative emotions and letting it go. Don't let it stay there. Oh my gosh. It's supporting each other. This whole message is supporting each other. Man, let me tell you, a lot of times I overreact, okay? Everybody does. But you have to get better at centering yourself. Oh, underneath that is reflection. Reflect. Observe. What am I doing to cause making a situation being in the victim mentality? Am I in a victim mentality? Am I, taking responsibility for your triggers and your traumas and your own healing? Nobody can heal you. People can help you and guide you and make you feel better, but it's up to you to do the work, because we can't think for you. We can't go, let me take the trauma away and throw it elsewhere. You know what I mean? We can hold your hand and be the shoulder to cry on and give you some advice or maybe give you some insight to things that you couldn't see before. But nobody can ultimately fucking heal you. 2 cards. Leadership. That's what I meant by taking responsibility for your own healing. Taking responsibility for your own wounds and your own triggers and your own traumas, because nobody can violate you unless you let them. Nobody can make you feel a certain way unless you let them. Opportunity. And there's a moon in there. I'm telling you, when you do a lot of healing, you unblock a lot of shit. You start seeing opportunities that weren't there before. Like, for example, if you are traumatized from all the relationships you had because they were all traumatic and they all were narcissists, you freaking miss out on good relationships, opportunities to have healthy relationships, because all you were seeing and keeping in your vibe was being a victim. You miss out on a lot when you're in that negative energy. I mean, healing's important, man. Tell yourself a new story. Like I have to tell myself, there's good people out there that want to be with me. That's not trying to freaking treat me like crap. I can have good relationships with people, healthy relationships with people, and still express what I need to express, good or bad. There are people there that accept me the way I am. I don't have to change for nobody. You know what I mean? I keep telling myself that, because before it's like I had to change myself in order to fit other people's expectations. That was something that I was dealing with. That's why I was the back burner, people-pleasing bitch for a long time. And it came out in trauma, and it came out in anger. It came out in, I'm pretty sure, missing out on a lot of things because I was so deep in my trauma. Bottom of the deck, flexibility. Being kind to yourself. Not making rigid rules for yourself and putting rigid expectations on others as well. Because if you expect too much from people or you expect too much from yourself, I mean, people are going to disappoint you. That's why centering yourself is important. Be flexible in everything. You know, rigid expectations and rigid ways of doing things, you know, you're just going to keep getting disappointed over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you expect people to always to conform in a certain way to make you happy, you're going to be upset. Be kind to yourself. That's the big message that I got from this. Like, be kind to yourself. Nobody's perfect. Accept yourself the way you are. That's the message for today. I hope it helps somebody. Toodaloo.